Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Hanging Out for a Living. Today, I'm spending time with someone who has sold over 500,000 books, traveled to more than 100 countries, and then had a real uh-oh moment when AI showed up. Kam Knight built his career around mental and personal performance, mastering the skills that take decades to develop. And then ChatGPT came out.
Yeah,
Instead of resisting it, he pivoted. Now he helps small businesses and solopreneurs stay relevant by using AI. And not just as something scary or complicated, but as a tool to generate leads, automate tasks, and create more freedom. And here's the part that I really appreciate. He believes none of it matters unless you handle the inner stuff too. So let's get into it. Cam, welcome to Hanging Out for a Living.
hey, thank you very much. I'm really happy to be here.
Let's dive in. When ChatGPT came out and you felt that uh-oh moment when AI
Yeah,
showed up, right? What was going through your mind and what ultimately made you decide to pivot towards AI instead of away from it?
yeah. So when I first saw ChatGPT, I remember a friend of mine had sent me a video about it. It was on New Year's Eve of 2023. So I had an existential crisis. Like literally, I was in a very intense state. And I was in that state for like the next good week because what took me nearly 15 years to develop as a skill of writing, I saw ChatGPT doing it like that. Now, granted, even now, I would say my writing is better than ChatGPT, though I saw the quote unquote writing on the wall that it was time to pivot because I could just see that there's going to be a lot more people publishing books because I'm an author and the market was going to be saturated and it's going to be kind of hard to see. And we're seeing that now. The amount of books that are being published has skyrocketed.
Yes.
And I don't think everyone who's publishing, is making millions or even much, but it has really flooded the marketplace where there's just more content now than people have time to read. And so I spent quite a bit of time thinking about like what I could pivot into that AI eventually couldn't take over. And I came to the solution that at a certain point, AI was going to be able to do most things. And so I thought I go into AI and learn about it versus trying to resist it.
Absolutely. You need to know the devil you're dancing with, right?
Exactly.
So you say that there are two big mistakes people make about AI, that it won't take their job and that it's too complicated. What are you
Yeah.
seeing right now in the small business world that people may not fully realize yet?
Yeah. So I think we're already seeing that it's taking jobs.
Yes.
Everyone in the beginning would say that, oh, yeah, AI is not going to take your job. It's only going to take the job of people who don't know how to use AI. But that's just not the case. AI is getting better at doing a lot more things. I think it's hitting certain industries a lot more than other industries, meaning I think the legal industry gets hitting really hard. Whereas in the past, you would have to hire expensive lawyers to look at, review, or draft contracts. But literally, one can do probably a better job with using AI tools. In fact, recently I was drafting a couple of contracts, and I think AI helped me produce something better than what I was having lawyers work with. And then, of course, writing is another area. But unless you know how to use AI to write, it can actually, your writing can seem like it's written by AI and have a worse effect. So I see a lot of posts on Facebook, emails. I even have people who will reach out to me and commenting when I speak. And when it comes off as AI, it comes off as inauthentic
Yes.
and it just gets passed off. Even a lot of reviews on Amazon, which is crazy, is being written by AI. And AI has a very specific structure of how it writes reviews. And I think people are kind of catching on to, oh, this is an AI written review. And what I'm finding is when a person can pick up that a review is written by AI, it just negates everything on that page. They can't trust that person, that product, or anything else. And so Although in writing it can be useful, it has to be used the right way. You don't want to sound like it's AI. The other mistake is that people think it is complicated, but I want people to understand that AI is unlike other technology that required a lot to learn to use because AI is an intelligence. So all you really need to know is find specific tools that do a specific thing. Like some AI tools build websites, other AI tools create narrations, some AI tools are good writing. And all you have to do is describe what you want. That's what makes AI different is it's not about learning, it's not about coding, it's not about programming. It's just by describing what you want. And the better we can get at describing or prompting the AI, the easier it is to use.
Absolutely, absolutely. So for the solopreneur watching or listening to this, and they're thinking, okay, I probably need to pay attention. Where's
Yeah.
the smartest place to start? Is it lead generation, maybe automation, maybe learning tools? What creates the fastest clarity and momentum?
Yeah, it's not so much the fastest clarity that I want people to understand. I think it's the most longevity that
Ah,
people should be focused on
okay.
because AI can do so much stuff and whatever we build, AI can probably replicate very quickly. We want something that can maintain longevity for us. So I think the number one thing businesses can do is start building community. Yeah, that's because once you have a community of people that know, like, and trust you, you don't have to go out and start to get leads because it's going to be harder to find leads later on when everyone is using AI to, get really specific at targeting and get really good at targeting. But if we can start building a community and offering them what they want, then we have more longevity in the space. Even though other AI tools can come in, um, we already have a base of customers that we can service and provide our products and obviously services to. And I think that's going to be the most important thing that we can start doing now is start building community where later on it's just going to be harder to attract people.
Absolutely. Excellent point. Hope everyone's writing these golden nuggets down because there's a lot of them here. Maybe come back and
Yeah,
watch again.
yeah,
So you also talk about emotional blocks and the inner stuff.
yeah.
Why does mindset really matter in a conversation that seems so technical on the surface? And what do you see holding people back most right now?
I think people are not taking AI as seriously as it can. There are a handful of people who are, and I
Mhm.
think they are positioned to really stand out when, AI starts getting better. But it's kind of like back in the internet age when people were saying no one's gonna, buy anything from
I
the
know.
internet or the internet is a fad and things like that.
Mm,
And we kind of went through, and we go through kind of waves where a new technology comes out and it gets like really popular. And then it kind of fades for a little bit. And some of the technology goes away, but then the excitement fades, but it's still building and it does make a profound effect. So when we think of technologies like the internet, it was kind of like that. At first, it was this big thing. And then the tech bubble burst, saying, okay, it wasn't as, great as everybody was thinking,
right.
but it still continued to grow. And now most people don't even need to leave the house because they can literally do everything off the internet, order groceries, date, all of that stuff.
Crazy, crazy.
Yeah, and it's the same with AI. So when ChatGPT first came out, that was really the explosion of AI. AI had already been around and kind of been building, but when ChatGPT came out, I think in November of 2022, it was like, okay, wow, AI is really here. And there was all this excitement, all this thing is going to change everything. But for the last year and a half, it kind of fizzled.
Okay.
But now I think it's kind of um,
Researching.
resurging, and the people who are sleeping on it are the ones who are gonna be left behind.
I agree. I had a situation where I had to take an Excel spreadsheet. I don't know Excel like
Yeah,
really well. and it was over 3,000 names, and I had to break it out by salesperson. And I'm thinking, oh, no, 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 no. I threw it into chat, told it what I wanted within seconds.
Yes,
No kidding. I mean, just, I had 7 lists.
exactly.
It's
And and
crazy.
back then you would have to know how to use Excel to pull that out,
Right,
like pivot tables and sorting and all that
right,
stuff.
exactly.
And now you can literally tell ChatGPT, this is what I want. And this reinforces the point I was saying about AI, where you don't actually have to learn the inner workings of AI or how it works. All you have to
Right.
do is describe what you want. So in this case, you said, I want this, and it gave it to you. Like no prior experience in AI, no understanding the backends and all of that. You literally just say what you want, and it's getting better and better at giving it to us. What's really amazing about AI is that when we communicate with AI, I think it seems like we're the only ones communicating it with it. But ChatGPT is communicating with billions of people around the world, and
Hmm.
it knows somehow like what that specific person wants. And it's getting better and better at discerning what each person is talking to wants.
Oh yeah.
And it's pretty wild. Yeah.
Yeah, I use it every day. And sometimes it's scary not scary, like really scary, but it blows my mind what it comes back with. But also, if you don't know what you're talking about or have some baseline, it can make you look like a fool.
Yeah. Yeah.
It can make you look like an absolute fool. So, buyer beware. But
Yeah. Well, there are instances of where that's happened quite a bit,
oh,
where a
really?
lot of in the legal field, they were using AI to do the research and build cases and stuff.
Okay.
And they didn't do enough due diligence and they didn't realize a lot of the cases it was using to support an argument were made up. So AI was making up cases and
Oh,
they would go to court and the defending party would say, this isn't even a real case.
yeah.
And they would look like the person using it to make the argument would obviously look like the fool. So there are caveats and challenges
Yes.
right now, but the better it gets, the less it's gonna have that.
So totally out in left field, where do you see AI being in 5 years from now?
Honestly, so when I said, when I first heard about ChatGPT, I had an existential crisis,
Hmm.
and I didn't really describe like what it was like for the next 2 weeks, but I was in a really dark place because I could see where AI was going. And I thought it would get there a lot sooner, but again, it had this surge of excitement and then it kind
Yeah.
of dipped and now it's coming picking back up because it is becoming built. I think in 5 years, as Elon Musk has alluded to, we're gonna have to start getting to a point where there's gonna be a universal basic income because AI is going to be taking over so many jobs. A lot of people are going to be out of jobs. And there's no way a person can develop the skills that AI is doing because AI is just so good,
Yeah.
yeah. So it's going to be,
Oh, it's
it's
going to
hard
be
to imagine. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Just like when the internet first came out,
Yeah.
when you said, "Oh, people said it's a phase and all that," right? I remember those days. I'm really going to
Yeah.
age myself here. I remember those days and look at where we are, right?
Yeah.
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 Oh my
Everything is internet. Yeah.
goodness. It's
Yeah. And,
crazy.
and the same thing. So I think in 5 years, well, so one of the benefits right now for us humans is AI is in the digital realm.
Yes.
It's not really out in the real world walking and talking, but it's getting
Oh,
there.
yes, it is.
I remember I was at the airport a few months ago, and normally you would have a janitor cleaning the floors.
Sure.
It was like a robotic machine that was cleaning it.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I remember like a year and a half ago, I was in Miami and I was walking down the street and there was this like this, I don't know, maybe 3 by 2 foot rectangular thing just rolling down the street on its own. And so it was kind of an AI delivery thing.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of coming into the real world. And Elon Musk is building Optimus, it's AI robots. Other companies are doing it too. So AI is going to come into the real world.
Oh, it's
And when it,
already, it already, you're right, you're already has. There's a school locally here at the Golisano Institute for Business and Entrepreneurship, and they have one of those walking around. It's a female robot, and she is walking around.
yes,
I know I've never seen her, um, but I know if I would just stop. I mean, it would just,
yeah,
yeah, I don't know if I'd be able to move at that point. I'll be like, what? You know?
yeah. And once that happens, then there isn't anything AI couldn't do that humans could do. Because right
Exactly.
now, AI hasn't taken over a lot of human activities because it's not in the real world. But we're seeing it's coming into the real
It's
world.
coming up. Yeah, really
And
fast.
and yeah, in fact, right now the NBA is using AI robots to to practice different plays. They even have robots that follow around the player, pepping him up and giving him pep talks and stuff. So it's just a matter of time. And I'm telling you, I think it's gonna be pretty scary what happens. The only thing I realize AI can't do is build land. So if you want to buy land, I think land will become very valuable eventually because there's only so much limited land in this world.
That's true.
And if I would encourage investing in some sort of real estate because that's one thing AI can't do. But that's not even safe because if people aren't around to purchase land, then there might not be value in it. So it's
Exactly.
it's hard to know where this stuff is going.
I know it's just one can get only guess. And I have to tell you, Kim, this has been a really timely conversation. AI isn't coming someday. It's here right now.
Yeah,
And what I appreciate about your perspective, really is that it's not fear-based, it's actually forward thinking. Um,
yeah,
Tools, the strategy, and the inner work to use them wisely. And that's the
yeah.
operative word is wisely. So, folks, for those of you listening or watching, if you'd like to continue the conversation with Cam, grab his list of AI tools or explore how he helps businesses implement AI funnels and automation. His contact information and links are in the description of this video. And as always, if this sparks something for you, share it with someone who needs to stay ahead of the curve. Until next time, keep learning and keep growing. Thank you so much, Cam, for joining us today. Bye,
Thank you very
everybody.
much, Teresa.
Bye bye.